When the Portuguese refused her a seat, Queen Nzinga made one from the back of her own servant. That's how she told the world, "I will never kneel to you." This single, defiant act in 1622 wasn't just about a chair. It was a declaration. It was the moment Queen Nzinga Bandi of the Ndongo and Matamba kingdoms announced to the Portuguese Empire and the world that she was a force to be reckoned with, a sovereign who would bow to no one. Born in 1583, in what is now modern-day Angola, Nzinga entered a world teetering on the edge of chaos. European powers, particularly Portugal, were aggressively expanding their influence, seeking to control the continent's vast resources and, most tragically, its people, through the brutal transatlantic slave trade. The kingdoms of Central Africa were caught in a storm of political intrigue, warfare, and colonization. Nzinga grew up witnessing the devastating impact of this encroachment. She saw her people captured, her lands threatened, and the authority of her family, the ruling dynasty of Ndongo, constantly challenged. From an early age, she was trained not just as a princess, but as a warrior and a leader. Her father, the king, recognized her sharp intellect and fierce spirit, ensuring she was educated in military tactics, diplomacy, and the complex political landscape of the region. This upbringing forged her into a shrewd and resilient leader, preparing her for the monumental task of defending her kingdom's sovereignty. Nzinga's rise to power was as strategic as her later battles. After her father's death, her brother became king, but his reign was marked by weakness and disastrous concessions to the Portuguese. Recognizing the imminent danger of total collapse, Nzinga stepped into the role of chief diplomat. Her legendary meeting in Luanda, where she refused to be seated lower than the Portuguese governor, was her first major move on the international stage. By having her servant kneel to form a human throne, she asserted her equal status and commanded respect. She negotiated a peace treaty, demonstrating her diplomatic prowess, but she knew that diplomacy alone wouldn't be enough. Following her brother's death, she seized the throne in 1624, becoming Queen of Ndongo. The Portuguese refused to recognize her legitimacy, setting the stage for decades of relentless conflict. What followed was a masterclass in resistance. Nzinga was not just a queen who sent her armies to fight. She was a general who led them into battle herself. For nearly 40 years, she waged a brilliant guerrilla war against one of the most powerful empires of the time. She was a tactical genius, using the challenging terrain of her homeland to her advantage, launching swift, surprising attacks that confounded the Portuguese forces. But her true brilliance lay in her ability to blend military might with political maneuvering. She understood the power of alliances. She forged strategic partnerships with neighboring kingdoms, and even with the Dutch, who were rivals of the Portuguese. She welcomed escaped slaves and disillusioned African soldiers into her army, building a powerful, multi-ethnic coalition united against a common enemy. Nzinga was constantly adapting, learning, and evolving. When she was driven out of Ndongo, she didn't surrender. She conquered the nearby kingdom of Matamba and established a new, formidable power base from which to continue her fight. She was a queen, a general, a diplomat, and a symbol of unwavering defiance. Queen Nzinga's legacy extends far beyond the battlefields of 17th century Africa. She reigned until her death at the age of 80, never once surrendering her people's independence. She became a foundational figure in the history of Angola, where she is revered as a national hero and the mother of the nation. Her story is a powerful testament to the fight against oppression and colonization. She is remembered not just as a warrior queen, but as a symbol of resilience, intelligence, and unbreakable dignity. In a world that sought to diminish her, to categorize her as inferior, she stood tall and demanded to be seen as an equal. Her life challenges us to rethink the narratives of history, to recognize the powerful leaders and complex societies that thrived in Africa long before and during the colonial era. Queen Nzinga fought for more than just land. She fought for the very idea that her people deserved to be free and respected. Her story is a timeless inspiration, a reminder that true power comes not from the throne you are given, but from the one you have the courage to build for yourself. Thank you so much for watching. If you found this story as inspiring as we do, please hit that like button. Subscribe to our channel for more stories of incredible historical figures, and let us know in the comments who you'd like to see us cover next. See you in the next video.